Man appointed by the Prime Minister to head Australia's drought recovery has called on state agricultural ministers to be bold, saying now is their chance to be remembered for doing something. Shane Stone also told Sky News now was not the time for a discussion about climate change, arguing it would do nothing to help farmers who are on their knees. He spoke to our Northern Australia correspondent Matt Cunningham.
Shane Stone's never been a man to take a backward step.
I'll stand on toes. I mean, I did during the flood, but got the job done. That's my role.
After leading flood recovery efforts in Queensland, the Prime Minister has now expanded Mr Stone's role to head Australia's drought recovery.
The tragedy in Queensland is that there are 5 local government areas that were declared for flood that have now been declared for drought.
The former Chief Minister has just embarked on a tour of drought-affected regions, starting in the Northern Territory. And after attending a meeting in Moree this week, he has a message for state and territory agriculture ministers.
You've got to be bold, you have to be creative, and you need to be remembered for doing something.
Mr Stone says he'll be listening to people on the ground, as he had done during the flood recovery, saying locals often had the best solutions. But he says there's one thing those battling the drought don't want to hear about. Do we need to have a discussion about climate change?
I'm trying to deal with families who are basically on their knees, have either lost their stock, about to lose their stock, they've run out of water, they don't know what the future holds for them, they're in deep financial stress. They're not going to be helped by a discussion about climate change.
The Weather Bureau has told agriculture ministers it's going to be a long, hot summer with no significant rainfall expected until at least April next year.
There's going to be more pain, and that's why it's important that we don't get sidetracked on all this other stuff, having all these debates on the sidelines. We need to work together in collaboration, we need to harmonise the measures, and we need to act with a degree of urgency. People need our help now.
But Mr Stone says a new approach to water management is needed to ensure we're better prepared when the drought does finally break.
When it's pouring, it's flooding, do we just stand by and let that all sort of wash away, or do we capture it and put it to good use?
He says the recent Queensland floods covered an area as big as the United Kingdom.
It was 700 kilometres long, and that water went out to sea.
Matt Cunningham, Sky News.